my question is that how does the UN in particular and the EU enforce standards where religious rights of communities or minorities in particular are affected? What enforcement powers do you have, or what kind of powers, sanctions you can use, for example, to enforce on governments in particular? And you've obviously mentioned Pakistan in particular, where the rights of Ahmaddis, of course, are violated day in and day out, and it's state persecution as opposed to persecution within the communities.
Okay, yeah. Pakistan is a complex country. And let me, I have mentioned it twice, Pakistan, the country that always tabled the anti-blasphemy resolutions. Pakistan, a country with possibly the toughest anti-blasphemy laws, some of which specifically target Ahmaddis, so your community. I also mentioned my predecessor who came from a totally different Pakistan. And I would mention the foreign minister, Pakistan's foreign minister, in 1948. Because when Saudi Arabia tried to veto the word change in Article 18 of the Universal Declaration, freedom of religion, including change, the representative of Saudi Arabia, of Pakistan, made a powerful speech on behalf of that full understanding of freedom of religion, including change. And the then foreign minister was a member of the Ahmadiyya community, which is inconceivable nowadays. Okay, you see, I mean, countries can change, and the bad situation in Pakistan certainly has to, it's not something that people have inherited, but it is the legacy of dictatorship that sets groups of people against one another, poisoned relation. That poison is not a natural law. It's something that was politically staged. And so, of course, I mean, all the important answers must come from people on the ground. I'm not saying the UN has nothing to do, but one has to be aware, unfortunately, of the limited possibilities. Sanctions of a robust nature are rather exceptional. I mean, just imagine, we have many, many, many problems, serious problems in human rights politics. So always go the way of robust sanctions. I mean, it's simply not possible, and you will not find a consensus. So what remains then as a matter of, let's say, daily practice may disappoint you, but nevertheless one should use what is available, and it's the regular monitoring, periodic monitoring. We have monitoring by bodies that operate on the basis of particular conventions. We have now the UPR. I mean, that's a sort of soft pressure, and it requires a certain willingness within states, at least to do something, at least to build a facade in order to communicate. And sometimes the facade is the starting point for something more meaningful. It's disappointing. I mean, when we see that, we see, of course, the frustration given the limitations of the practical impact. Nevertheless, I would say regularly monitoring, communication, but strategic communication, not simply easy wording. I mean, it can, in the long run, make a difference. It will persuade some people, those not persuaded. I mean, they at least have to be embarrassed from time to time. Yeah. It's not what I would like to see. It's not the answer I would like to give you, but it's the honest answer.